Hello everybody and welcome back. Let's go flying once again here in X-Plane 11. And today is going to be something special. We have the FlightFactor 767 with the FMOD sound pack. Now the FlightFactor 767 is a pretty amazing plane, but the sounds were always a little bit subpar. If the plane was a 9 out of 10 or even a 10 out of 10, the sounds were 4 or 5 out of 10. But thankfully this sound pack improves things a lot. And the guy who does it goes by the name of FtSim, and he does a lot of great work with other sound packs, has FMOD sounds for most of the high quality aircraft here in X-Plane 11, so check out his page. If you want to get your hands on the full quality packages, then you have to show him a little bit of monetary support, but hey, you know, guy does a lot of great work, so go ahead and check that out as well. So the plane received an update a couple of days ago, and we are currently here in Naha in Okinawa. Another great freeware airport scenery from the X-Plane forums. Also a little bit older, but works great. And now we have a couple of F-16s here. Being an older scenery, as far as I know, Okinawa has 2 runways, but at the time one of them was under construction, so we can see here. Most likely was not finished at the time this scenery came out. Really great. I think it was originally made for X-Plane 10. So we are going to go today to Tokyo and land at Haneda Airport. Also going to take a look at the Mr. X Japan Pro, which is also an amazing freeware enhancement. So right, let's get into the cockpit and get going. Alright, let's set up the ground operations. Now we need gate config. There we go. Fuel truck. And the whole shebang. Loader unit. We don't need de-icing. And ground power unit. And first thing is the battery. Standby to auto. Actually, we have to make sure that the APU is not running, and this is the light. When it says run, then that's the only thing to make sure that the APU is actually running. And there's the APU gen switch. Many aircrews just leave this button on at all times, don't even switch it off. And external power. We need to put the boost ties to auto. Switch these guys on as well. They're just waiting for the engines to power the airplane. Alright. Now these guys to nav. On the emergency exit lights. And pumps. All these pumps can be switched on later. And position lights. Pressurization to auto. Window heat can be switched on. And isolation valves. Alright, now actually kind of curious if we can test these guys here. Data. Oh well. At least we can switch them. And here, script test. There we go. Okay, now go to the CDU. And let's put in our position. Here we have the General Electric CF6 engines. We are current here on the nav database, and we are at Okinawa. GPS position is what we need, and we are going to Haneda. And we are going to get there most likely in the evening time. And quickly grab the 80s. 127.800.
Naha information Mike. 600 Zulu weather. Wind 210 at 8 variable 170 to 240. Visibility 10. Sky conditions 1,500 few. 4,600 scattered. 6,600 broken. Temperature 29.
Alright, departing runway is 18. That's great. Also what we have in the flight plan. Just put it right there. Check out the oxygen. Nice. Great stuff. So, let's load this airplane up quickly. Man, take a look. By the way, I love this livery. JAL Endless Discovery. Now, quickly grab my flight plan. And block fuel is going to be 16,334. Oh, 6334. Cargo weight going to be 1,544. And PAX number is going to be 208. Now we have a little bit of space left here. And loading the plane. Here we have the fuel quantity indications. We also know that we want the fuel to be in kilograms, and the fuel required is also in kilograms, so we don't want to end up like the Gimli glider. Now, an interesting feature of the 767. Today we are flying with center tanks empty, but for some reason then the center tanks are not switched on, and the wing tanks will, or the airplane consumes all the fuel from the wing tanks. Then there is no way to switch off these pumps and get the fuel out of the center tanks. So if the airplane runs out of fuel from the wing tanks, but you have the center tanks, for example, completely full, but forgot to switch on these center tanks, then there's no way to get out the fuel and no way to restart the engines in case of a flame out. At least that was the case on most of these 767s. And 3 minutes till full alignment. Yaw dampers not yet. Need the irises need to be aligned for that one. And in the meantime, oops, a little bit of low frame rate right there, probably because of the recording. Alright, now we have 2 runways. We're going to want to use the 18 left. 18 right is not completed yet, so Okay, I had to modify the flight plan a little bit. Something did not add up with the routing. Also modified our fuel a little bit. 166.90. Also the loading got reset a little bit, so we're going to fly with 1,356 kilograms and passenger number is 208 still. Alright, updating the plane, or unloading the plane actually. Going to need a little bit more fuel. Oh, we have to verify later that we have 16.7. So, departure runway is still 18 left with the ESCO 1 and Amami. Here we go. Then we go Y574 to Shibuya. And then Y57 Sogbo. Y571 again. Billy. And Y21. Actually, this is a real-world flight. I looked it up on FlightAware. Japan Airlines flies this route with the 767s to Haneda. Axel. There we go, and this brings us to our approach. We're going to be arriving on runway 34 right. And Axel 1K. There we go. Do we need the Kaiho transition? Yes, we do. And activate the route, execute the route, and check out the lags page. Looks pretty straightforward. And loading is still underway. And we're going to cruise at 370. Maybe later we're going to go up to 380, and cost index is 266. Once the loading is done, maybe that was an issue. Yep, 16.3 still. Come on, guys. We would like to depart soon. In the meantime, take a look at those F-16s. Seven 737s here from the US Air Force, I think. A beautiful island here in Okinawa. Never been there, but looks great on film. No, 757. So, are we still loading? Oh no. And how is the fuel? And now we need to load it again. We want to have 16 point. Yep, there we go. It's increasing. In the meantime, let's start the APU. Still ongoing, but we have alignment, so yaw dampeners. Cargo heat. Ram air turbine, no. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I should have started the APU with fueling on the way, but never mind. Yep, we didn't put on the fuel pumps, but APU started and automatically this fuel pump activated to supply fuel for the APU. Switched it on later. If I click here, it's going to set the numbers in automatically. Well, actually, in the meantime, we can go to map mode or even plan mode. And one neat feature, we can click on these displays. Couldn't do that in the previous versions. And legs. Back to map mode, and also here for the first officer. Almost there. And it's going to shut the doors. Or does it... is it going to interrupt my loading? Let's just not roll the dice on that one. Oh, actually, you know what? Loading's done, so... Love how they vibrate when they are going on another power source. And airplane... close them all. Nice, so I can finish loading of the CDU. Just a reference value, so no need to... well, actually, just put in 2. We're going to have a flap 5 takeoff CG. There we go, trim 1.3. Does seem a little bit low, but 144. And flight directors on. You don't want to arm this switch, not until cleared for takeoff. And I think 14,000 feet is the local transition altitude, so let's set that one. And runway heading, or approximate runway heading 180. And this control's a little bit sensitive right now. And we are good for pushback. Japan Airlines ready for push.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Can go ahead, sir. We are ready.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Actually, I cranked it up today to maximum, and I get a pretty decent frame rate. Sometimes when recording, there's a little bit of FPS drop, but all in all, great quality. And let's check out the views from the cabin. It's going to be great for landing.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Alright, what's the time? 7:42. Yeah, Optimum Flight Level 370, that's great. Maybe later it's going to go up to 380. RJTT 0949 Zulu time. Yep, around 2 hours.
Tow connected and bypass been inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, we are going to need APU bleed. There is a duct pressure. ISO valves are on, so packs are off. Oh, there's this idiotic PA system. Actually, not idiotic, but let's just go with the flow.
The captain and crew would like to welcome you on board this Boeing 767-300 airliner. If you haven't already done so, please stow your carry-on luggage underneath the seat in front of you, or in an overhead bin. The flight crew will do everything possible to make your flight comfortable and enjoyable. Explain.org, Step to Sky, and FlightFactor wish you a pleasant flight experience.
Great sounds on those CF6 engines. same engine that we have on the A310 from Cremona Soft. Those sounds are not the best as well. Number 2. In the meantime, let's go ahead with the safety demonstration.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request your full attention as the flight attendants demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal fittings one into the other and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Turbulence. The Boeing 767 has 8 emergency exits. 2 in the front, 2 at the back, and 2 over each way.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
To locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor level lighting will guide you towards the exit. Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be detached and used as a life raft. Oxygen and the air pressure are always being monitored. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Until a uniform.
Alright, thanks buddy.
Remove it. In the event of an emergency, please assume the bracing.
Hand signal on the right. In the meantime,
On top of your head.
engine bleeds.
Against your thigh.
Tax
Ensure your
to
feet
auto
are flat on the floor. A life vest is located in a pouch
and APU
between the armrests. When instructed to do
off.
so, open the plastic pouch and remove
Oops, there's the hand signal.
over your head. Pass the straps around your waist and adjust at the front to inflate the vest. Pull firmly on the red cord only when leaving the aircraft. If you need to refill the vest, blow into the mouthpieces. Use the whistle light to attract attention.
And we are pretty much ready for takeoff.
Can be used as a flotation device.
Oh, not really.
Slip your arms into the straps and
We need to trim 1.3.
the following electronic devices.
Oops, just
CD players, laptop computers may be used
raise the
with
flaps
seatbelt
there.
sign
Oh,
attached.
flaps 5 and
Mobile telephones, remote
there is a
control
trim.
or any electronic devices operating with an antenna must be turned off at all times. We remind you that this is a non-smoking zone.
That's 1.3.
Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. You will
And
find
APU
this
gen
and all
off.
the other safety information in the car, located in the seat pocket in front of you. We strongly suggest you read it before takeoff. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members. We wish you all an enjoyable flight. Thank you.
I wish these robotic PA announcements were also improved. Maybe I'm going to have to do that myself. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. Runway should be long enough. So here we here we go. Don't want to run off the taxiway here. And now we can arm the auto thrust. Now the 767 does not have a toga button. And the correct procedure is advance throttles to 40% and 1, and let them stabilize, and then depress this button that says THR or N1 or EPR depending on the configuration. And then takeoff thrust is set. Now on the FlightFactor 767, when using hardware, for example, I got my throttle on my stick, good old Logitech 3D Pro, then at 80 knots the FMA goes into throttle hold. Reason is Boeings have motorized auto throttle system and my joystick is not motorized, so the plane thinks that I retarded the throttles, so it's going to go into throttle hold mode. Yeah, one solution is to go here on the iPad and sim settings, go with this throttle block. So we're going to do just that. And we can go ahead and take off. Also put this to TARA. Let's put terrain radar for the FO and weather radar for me. I'm also going to have to go down here. But it's actually quite nice. Alright, we have no message here. I can also do recall. Nothing right there. Also here. And the cockpit is going to be looking great when the sun goes down and all the lights kick in. Takeoff. Alright, advanced throttles. Depress this one and throttle block. And there is the throttle hold. And we can go ahead, rotate. And gear up. We have to trim the airplane a little bit up. A 15 degrees pitch up should be sufficient. Yeah, there goes the flight director. And LNAV, VNAV. Oops. There we go. Probably could have stayed at flaps 1, but speed picked up as well. And soon we are turning to the left. 5,000 feet, we're going to have to look at for 14,000. And switch on the wing lights. Yeah, the brakes got put on the off position automatically. Beautiful Okinawa leaving behind and going to go to Tokyo. Where's my AVI tab? Everything is in Japanese. Alright, 10,000 feet, lights off. Everything is looking normal here. Don't have any bad weather on the radar. Let's increase the range a little bit. Like so. Alright, we're going to go up northeast, and here we go. I think Tokyo is here, but I'm not sure about that. And what's our... yeah, transfer altitude 14,000 feet. ASCOG. And optimum flight level 370 still. Maybe later we're going to go to 38. There we go. And watch for 14,000, then go to standard 2992 or 1013. Beautiful stuff. We want to do another PA. We have left 14,000 a while back, so... altitude disagree, I know. Oops, let's agree to disagree. Standard is set. And looks like it's going to be evening soon here. Alright, really nice views there. So we are climbing towards 37,000 feet. And we will return. And we are at cruise altitude. Check out views a little bit, maybe the sun going down. And then later approach to Tokyo Haneda and landing. So we still have 1 hour to go until our destination, but in the meantime we can go to a higher flight level. 308 has become optimal. So let's just go right here, put in 380. And soon we are... Actually, let's reset the autopilot. And VNAV. So we are climbing. I'm not sure that's the correct way for step climbs, but it works. And here we have the altitude alert. When we reach 380, this green light will go off. And back to the cruise page. ETA 10 o'clock Zulu time, actually 10:04. We get a little bit of a headwind coming from the front left, 4 or 5 knots. And there we are at 38,000 feet. Still have a little bit of fuel, so no worries there. Everything is fantastic. Okay, double descent is within 160 nautical miles, so we still have a little bit of time, but right now we have a runway change in our arrival runway. Going to be arriving at 16 left. So let's change it quickly. There we go. Axle N. And let's make sure that we need Well, actually, sandy. No sandy transition, so let's check out here. Our flight plan, what we did. Okay, we do need the transition, so it didn't look too good, so ILS 16 left, axle N. And let's see right now. Looks much better. Alright, we're going to fly over the airport, make a turn. And 4000, yep, at 4000 intercept the glide slope and land at 16 left, so that's great. Now all we have to do is go down here and put in 157. And nav radio 111.95. There we go. And back to map mode. And it's a little bit early, but oops, auto, and go down to 157. Here we go. And back to the cruise page. Top of descent point is coming up, so let's make a quick PA using a robotic voice. Okay. Now anyway, let's put on the seatbelt signs. Transition, oops, FMC message, reset, yep, that's what we're going to do. 14,000 feet local transition altitude. Let's check out the METAR. Alright, 1012. And maybe you can also listen to the 80s soon. Oh, we are not in range yet, but anyway. We should be beginning our descent soon. I don't think we need drag. Maybe a little bit later. Going to have to go down to 4,000. Yep, 4,000, and that's where we are going to capture the glide slope. And let's keep an eye on the FMA. And we can already see the coast of Japan and Fuji. And here we go. Throttle is moving back. And vertical speed decreasing. And we have begun our approach. Let's take a quick look at the approach ref page. Yep, flaps 30, 132 VREF. Nav radios are set for ILS. And 14,000 feet, local barometric pressure, and then all we have to do is land. Yeah, still around half an hour to go. I forgot to start the clock at takeoff, so it's a little bit behind, but anyway, we are prepared for landing. Okay, one more runway change, ILS 22. And which one do we want? Let's see. Quickly look at my modified flight plan. Because of the transition, pretty sure this is the star that we need, but I think it's nylon. Yep, exactly. Here we go. Sally. Okay. You can go directly to Sally. check altitude target is going to be 5,000. Can we make this turn? Let's go directly to... Yep, looking alright. Stow and shaft, nylon. Actually, you know what? Let's clear with ATC and go direct to shaft. Reset the autopilot. Maybe traffic is light, so we can do these kinds of shenanigans here. And before I forget, let's reconfigure the approach as well. So let's see. Yeah, we have burnt a little bit of fuel, so flaps 30, 131 update. Final course is 222. And let's put 222 here as well. And 108.10 should be put here, 108.10, there we go. Oops, let's go range 20, yeah, terrain radar. And how are we doing with altitude? Yep, almost at 10,000. Let's play around with the lights a little bit. Look at that. It's awesome here. Alright, 10,000 feet. Can't see much right now, we are flying in clouds, but there is no precipitation. Okay, we're going to fly at 5,000 feet for a while. And let's see, where is the approach? Let's runway 22, here we go. Yep, 5,000 for a while. Nice. I'm going to stay here at 230. Yep, we're going to fly all the way approximately at nylon. I'm going to slow down and gradually extend flaps. Once we made a turn, gear down, flaps 30 on the speed brakes and also auto brakes. I'm going to use 2. Alright, here we go with the final turn. And right now I'm getting a really low FPS. But here we have the indicators. Speed select mode. Yeah, let's go down to 190. Beautiful sunset approach. There is the airport up ahead. And we are turning towards the runway. When we have made this turn, then going to engage approach phase. And let everybody know we are landing. There we go with the approach. And glide slope is active. So gear down. Reduce speed to 160 and gradually extend flaps. Whoa! A little bit of turbulence in the air. And here we can see a couple of Tokyo landmarks, or actually just one. Alright, gear is down, let's go auto brakes 2. And arm the speed brakes. Yeah, it says they are extended, but they are really... There we go. I hope they are armed, there is no indication right now. And reduce speed further to 155. I don't know when the lights on the buildings come on. Night this tower looks really awesome. And actually there's another tower somewhere here. But I probably should be focusing on the landing part. Alright, we are at flaps 25 and soon we can go flaps 30. Time to concentrate. Let's keep it there. And adjust speed. And my aircraft. It's a little bit of crosswind. And try to keep it on the glide slope. Need a little bit of trim. So VREF is 131.
1000.
And we're a little bit below. And drifting to the right. So let's go chase those signals down. Yeah, this plane handles a lot different than an A320 that we flew last time. And we are once again looking better. And I like to have a yoke, but right now
500.
using my trusty Logitech 3D Pro, but we are on the glide slope. Once again drifting to the right.
Minimums.
We can continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And here we go, touchdown zone. Butter. Reversers. And here we go. Reversers are stowed and brake. And we can exit right here. And how we're looking with the flaps? Are they up? And start the APU. Yep, welcome to Tokyo, Konnichiwa and all that. This is also pretty fantastic Haneda Airport scenery. I'll get rid of the weather radar. Also the terrain for the FO. Oops, should have probably be concentrating on the road here up ahead. Once more, a very nice route here. Okinawa and Tokyo, beautiful sunset approach. and with the FMOD sounds. Actually, it will be interesting to see how the video will turn out. APU is running. APU gen on. And just slowly taxiing. I can turn the lights up now in the cabin. I'll actually turn them a little bit down, so maybe it's going to affect the replay. And there's the skyline here in Tokyo. Oops, no, those were the brakes. And I'm just going to pull in here. Park at the gate, shut down the engines, and take a look at the replay. Maybe I'm going to also load or change the time to daytime to look at the scenery. Mr. X's Japan Pro. And then maybe next time I'm going to fly the 787 with ANA out of here, or yeah, we'll see. Yeah, with this weather and also with this scenery and also orthographic scenery for the area, yeah, it's pretty resource intensive. And just pull in here. We have no marshal. Actually, in Japan they are pretty nice here at the ramp, and they bow every time. No, that's nice. Step on those brakes lightly. 2 meters, 1 meter, here we go. And parking brake set. Engine bleeds off, and here we go. Oops, probably should have switched off the lights here. Blinded everybody. Alright, so This was once again a lot of fun, and I'll see you in the next video, so take care. So when I attempted to watch the replay of the original landing, the game crashed, so we have to do one more landing here at Haneda, so let's take over. We are established on the glide slope. Let's go full flaps, autopilot. Yep, disconnect, and my airplane. So, we got a daytime landing as well. Still a bit cloudy though, so let's follow those glide slope and localizer indicators. Do we have full flaps? Yep, looks like. And should be smooth sailing, a little bit of turbulence as well, but runway is up ahead. We can barely see it. VREF is at 121, I think. What we're going to do. Nice visual landing here. Same runway, 22.
1000.
Trim it. And we are a little bit fast, so now you can see the beautiful red arch here at Haneda. Bit of a tailwind. You should be able to deal with it. And we are way too fast and too high. Let's go throttles idle and get back on track here. Continue.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And here we go. Touchdown zone acceptable. Oh well. Reverse. Still clapping those stow those reversers, break it down, and alright, so now we get to look at the replay here